Hey guys, so I was talking to my girlfriend about a dream of mine, and she's like, "Well, you need to document this. You need to put it on YouTube or something. Your experience is cool." And I was like, you know what? I did start my YouTube for this reason because of my dreams. They're so like real that I could live my dream reality. I have journals. I don't even need journals to the point where I can recall them, remember, like I relive them in a way. So in this dream, like, okay, this is my thing. I have this thing. Sometimes when I'm in pain, I'm in so much pain. Like it could be period cramp, it could be anxiety, it could be headache. I have really, really bad migraines, and from my sometimes I'd be like, I wish to leave, and I'm like, I want to exit out, and I blame my workplace because it was like a wedding place, and also a place where you have events, like you party and like famous people comes up, whatever, and everybody smokes and they drinks, and so like, and they give like, I don't like drinking, I don't like the smell of alcohol. It gives me headache, and then I used to come home with migraines all the time, and like the event would be like from 4 to like let's say it would last till 10 p.m, but sometimes it would be like 4 p.m or 4 a.m, something like that. And so I try to not to stay for those days that are like till like later on, but the longest I stay is like 12 a.m in the morning, and it gives me migraine because there's so much loud music going on. Anyway, so because of that I developed, well, because of other previous relationship, let's see, gave me migraines, and throughout the years it just developed. Yeah, so I get bad migraines, and I'm like, I want to leave, I want to leave. And then there were a few times that I was supposed to leave, and then like I can hear things that like, oh, if you want to leave, you got to do this. And then one time I was going to leave, but I was telling my man, I was like, okay, I'm going to tell bye to my man, like I can't leave without saying goodbye to him. And I went to say goodbye. I'm like, I'm going to leave, listen, it's the time for me to go, because I can't take the pain, because the pain lasts for like 7 hours or whatever. That's how long my migraine starts. And then I do take Tylenol or Advil. Oh, I'm in a worst situation ever. I like doze out, whatever, and it's still I wake up with the pain. So anyway, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave, da, da, da. And so like, but this time in my dream experience, this guy is like, so it was me, my man, some other people, and then this guy, he was like, oh, if you were to there's an option to transition, do you want to take like, are you interested? And I was like, transition, hell yeah, I want transition. They was like, oh, why do you want to transition? And I was like, cause I want to, it's available for me, and so I will take it. So remind, side note or side story, whatever. The night before, I was telling my man, I was like, every time I have this experience of like transitioning, but I don't transition because I gotta say bye to whatever, bye to somebody or say goodbye, and then I miss my opportunity, I miss my door, because it doesn't wait forever. And so like, and I can leave. And then he's like, oh, like, why do you want to leave? Is it because you're miserable? I'm like, that was me before. I used to feel miserable and I want to leave, but now I'm like, I stayed long enough. I embraced the miserableness because it taught me how to be better. And now that I know the betterness of me, I have both point of view. And then because of that, if the option comes, I would choose to leave. And he was like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I will leave, And I was like, I don't want to be a coward, because this option popped up for me for so many times, and I was like, no, but now I'm gonna take it. And like, so anyway, and we were listening to Bashar and stuff, and we were meditating, good feelings and stuff. So we went to sleep, and so back to the dream experience. So we're next to this guy, and he's like, oh, if you had the option to transition, will you take it? And I was like, hell yeah, give me that option, it's here. Like he's like, it's here. He's like, why do you want to take it? I was like, oh, because I experienced both duality, and like, I'm fine to transition, I'm good. And he was like, are you sure you want to transition? I'm like, yes, I am 100% sure. I don't feel no guilt. I'm not leaving out of anger or of despair, nothing. I'm just leaving on a good term because I experienced both. And so I will go. And he was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to transition? And I was like, yes, I will transition. I choose to transition, and willingly, consciously, I choose to transition. He was like, okay. And so we were inside the so somehow we were like inside the house or something. And then I know as I was transitioning, like I didn't feel really anything. I thought I would feel like I would go to hell or heaven feeling, or like my body crumbling, disintegrating, or like my brain would like fog up. Nothing. I didn't feel any of that. And that's how you know how advanced you are in spiritual awakening, when you don't face the duality, or you don't feel like, you know how you if you imagine try to go through a fence or through a wall, you would feel that weird feeling. I didn't feel none of that. And so like, yeah, and I transitioned, and in this reality, like when I got it there, I was with my man in our house, and he was looking for certain documents, and I'm like, whoa, I transitioned. Wow, this is different, because we were in a complete different place than where how I started when where I transitioned from, you know, because I don't know where it was. It was just, but it was indoors, but this one was inside my house. And he's like, oh, he's looking for paperwork, because he's like, oh, we're gonna get married. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go tell your parents that we're gonna get married. I'm gonna give them all the paperwork to see, like, tell them that, oh, I am worthy of marrying you. And like, and even if they don't say no, I don't care. As like, but I'm gonna give them the documents and stuff, so no, they will know that you are supported financially, emotionally, whatever, you know. They have to say yes. Even if they say no, I'm gonna try my best for them to say yes. But if they say no, it's okay. And I was like, you know, you don't have to do this. And I'm like, I don't really want this, you know. And remind you, I just came from the transitioning from the other reality, and so now I'm just like, what's happening? And because I'm not having I don't have enough time to process, because this man is like going around looking for paperwork, documents, and passport, birth certificate, you know, what do you call it, history of healthcare and health history. And I'm like, you don't have to do none of this. I'm like, I don't really want this. You know, I don't want to do this. You don't have to. Please don't feel like I'm forcing you. I am not forcing you. You know, so I'm saying all of these things while like I'm still feeling like, oh, I transitioned, but I couldn't feel it because this guy is like, oh, I need this paper. Oh, I need this paper. And then he called my parents up. It's like, oh, I need you guys to be, all the whole family member to be in the house. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to come over, and I have an important meeting I have to discuss with you guys. You know, I'm gonna have a meeting. And I was like, what the heck? And I'm looking at him confused. I'm like, why are you doing this? You know, I don't want this. And he's like, oh, it's not about you want it, you know, like I want this. And so it's like, to him it seems like I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes either. So I kind of get, I do understand why it's like, oh, you know, it's not like you're saying no, so I'm gonna go for it. So anyway, and I go to my parents' house, I think, while he parks his car. And so I go to the corner of my house, and I'm just like standing around, because I'm like, I don't really want to tell my parents this. I don't want to be in this conversation, because I don't want this. But I'm not putting so much force. So I tell my brother, I'm like, oh, you know what's going on? Why are we here? Like, I'm so confused, you know, but just have everybody so you can have a meeting or whatever. So he was telling my parents, talking to them, blah, blah, blah. And then he was showing all this paperwork, his bank statement, everything. And I'm just looking at him like, what the heck? And so my transitioning feeling was just leaving, because like I was so focused into that reality of seeing what was happening and what was everybody's reaction. And I was just like, you know, I wasn't up for it, but I wasn't not up for it, you know. So I was like, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, you know. But he's like, oh, I'm gonna make it happen, you know. This is something I want, and I know you would want it too, you know. So, and I was like, okay. And then I woke up from that dream state, and I was like, holy cow, oh my gosh. I'm like, but I'm so happy about the transitioning. Okay, I'm gonna run out of time. And one thing about this dream is just the guy, he said transition. He never said the word death, like, oh, you're gonna die, you're gonna have to die. No, he said transition. And that is why I know this was not a regular dream, because this dream, every one of these dreams that I have dream experience, is always crisp. Okay, like and it just make you feel mystical, magical, kind of sort of feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but the feeling of it is so different. And like, and most time I don't know that I'm having the dream experience, which I'm going to talk to you about another one, a dream experience I had. So yeah, back to this dream. Like the fact he said transition, when I woke up I was like, transition, huh? That's so funny way to put it, because if it was regular dream they would have said dead, some of you could die, da, 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 da. But no, it said transition, and I was just like, wow. And so I was talking to my man, and he was like, oh, why do you want to leave? Because you manifested this dream experience. I was like, yeah, I did. And then also, like I was talking that later on that day, I was telling my man, I was like, I don't really recall like us living together so much. I'm like, what the heck did we do all this year? It's like, I mean, it's slowly coming back, what we did. Because I was like, what did we do for 7 years? I feel like I just left my parents' house and that's it, fresh from my parents' house. And I'm like, nothing. I did not have any really experience. I know we was living together, but I just didn't know like how we spent our time together. Like, where would we go for dates? What's our favorite food? Do we cook together? What movies do we watch together? What TV show we watch together? I didn't have any of these details, and I was just like, wow, I was just dilly-dallying for so long. But that made me question. I was like, wow, I transitioned, and I used to be so scared of death. And I was like, but then I was listening to the show or whatever, and he was like, you're not really dying, you're transitioning. And I believe him, because I did have a different experience during ayahuasca time, and I transitioned, and it was such a cool experience. So when he said that transition, I was like, I know what you mean, because you never die. Your soul never dies. Your body may disintegrate or whatever, but you don't die. Your soul never dies. You are your soul. And so I was telling my man, I'm like, why did I dream this dream? Like, it's not relevant for me anymore. And he was like, oh, maybe a part of you, it's want this experience, and it is relevant. Everything is relevant for you. And I'm like, yeah, but not so much anymore, because I feel like now, like, I did have the experience because it's a closed off chapter. Like, the chapter has ended, and this is the preview of what happened, and now I get to choose, like, do I want this or do I not want this? And I'm just like, I don't really care for any of that stuff anymore. So I did change, because I used to care about it, I still want it, and I'm just like, now I'm like, I can't live without it. I'm fine just the way I am. I'll be better, but I don't need that experience. It doesn't. So that was like to tell me that I have changed, and I feel good about it. So thank you for watching. I hope you can relate and I don't freak out. So thank you for watching. Bye.